guys, what is up? Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is palettes I think you all need. So obviously that title is a little exaggerating, I guess you could say, because you don't need all of these palettes, but these palettes are all eyeshadow palettes that I think that are pretty crucial to like a makeup world for all different kinds of eye looks. I got 6 palettes here that I think are really important to me, and I think that all of you guys need. If you are new here, hi, my name is Kendra. I post 3 beauty videos a week and 1 vlog, so you should hit the subscribe button down below if you want to join the family. If you guys haven't already, you should definitely check out my social medias. It is at KendraCus. We have an Instagram, a Twitter, a Snapchat. They're all public, and I want you guys to join the fam if you're interested in seeing what I'm up to on a day-to-day basis. But let's just go ahead and get right on into this talkative and probably too long video. The first palette I want to talk about is a classic for most people. This is the Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette. This is the original chocolate bar. They have a semi-sweet and they have a chocolate bonbons. I do love the chocolate bonbon as well. It's one of my first high-end palettes. However, it does have more cool tones, whereas this kind of has mostly neutrals with a few cool tones and a few warm tones mixed in. You can get a lot of neutral eyes with this palette. You can get a day-to-day look, but you can also get like a really glam look. You could use the maroon shade. You could use this green shade right here. There's just so many options. You can do a classic gold eye or a bronze eye. There's a ton of options in this palette, and that's why I think this is like one of those palettes that you need. I've had wonderful experiences with the chocolate bar palette. With most Too Faced palettes in general, I've loved all of them. They've all been really good quality. So I highly suggest this one if you're looking for a palette that is just like a day-to-day palette. You can get away with using all of these shades on a day-to-day look, or you could glam them up. There are a lot of palettes out there that have like neutral shades or like all across the board shades. This one I just think is the best one out there, and it lasts a really long time. The packaging is really sturdy and you get a mirror, so I just think this is a palette I think you need. My next palette, I just realized in the intro I said 6 palettes when I really meant 7. So 7 palettes. My next palette is the Anasazi Beverly Hills Contour Kit. Why was I gonna say that? Anastasia Beverly Hills Modern Renaissance palette. This is probably the most talked about eyeshadow palette on YouTube ever. This basically broke the internet. It has so many stunning shades. This is one of the only palettes where you can find like hot reds, hot pinks, some oranges, and then some like dusty neutral shades with a little bit of warmth. There's so many different eye looks you can create with this palette. This is a go-to palette. I've hit pan on Primavera. I've almost hit pan on Tempera. I've just done this palette in. I love this palette. This is definitely so unique. It has so many stunning shades. The pigmentation is off the charts and it is super easily blendable. So that is why I think you guys need this palette. I mean, I'm sure you've heard so many people talk about it before, but you might as well hear one more. The next palette I want to talk about is the She palette by Colorpop. This was in collaboration with Karuchi. And one of the reasons I love this palette so much is I actually never had a palette with a lot of these pinky girly shades in it before. I fell in love with this palette. It's so funny because when I first ordered it and did the review back in July, I thought like, oh, I'm not gonna really love this palette. I don't really wear pinky girly shades that much, but like the eye look I did, I was obsessed with, and then I continued to just dabble in with this palette. I think there is a lot you can create with this palette, and it's $16 at colorpop.com. This palette is truly just a standout for me. Colorpop shadows in general have an incredible formula. They're super pigmented and really easily blendable for such an affordable price tag. I highly recommend this palette. I think it's also a wonderful like Christmas gift if anyone's trying to figure out Christmas gifts for their friends or their sisters or brothers or anyone. I love this palette, so I definitely recommend this, especially if you're looking for something that has like lots of pinky options. I think one of the nice things about this palette is it creates a lot of versatility in your makeup collection, because it's just not very common to throw all these shades into one palette, like all these pinky shades. I've never seen that before, all in one palette, so I just think this adds a lot of versatility, and that is why I think you need this palette. The next palette I want to talk about is highly raved about on my channel and a lot of channels out there as well, and that is the Too Faced Just Peachy Mattes palette. First of all, the packaging is incredible. It's in this nice, like, hard gold and pink packaging. Has an incredible mirror with like the cutest little peachy details right here. It smells like beautiful peaches and figs mixed together, and you have an incredible variety of warm and peachy shades in this palette. You can create so many looks with this palette with just the mattes, and then you can throw it in with a few shimmers you have, maybe single shadows or from a different palette. Kind of just like the She palette from Colorpop, this adds a lot of versatility to your makeup collection, especially if you're somebody who likes warm peachy shades like me. I really draw towards this on a day-to-day basis. I love the Peach Sangria shade. I think it's so stunning. Similar to a few shades in the Modern Renaissance palette, but it's definitely a little different. You guys know, if you've watched my channel for a while, that I prefer palettes that have a matte white shade or a matte bone color shade. So I love that this has that for me, so I can highlight my brow bone, because that's something I do with a matte shade every single day. Beautiful colors, blends really easily, and they're very pigmented. This is a high quality palette. It is in their permanent line, which is awesome because I love their old peach line and this new peach line. Love them. I'm glad that they kept them in their permanent line. But this is just so stunning, such a high quality palette with very unique shades, beautiful shades, all thrown together in one palette. That is why I think you need this palette. The next palette I want to talk about is the Kylie Cosmetics Bronze Palette. Similar to the Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette that I was talking about earlier, this palette gives me day-to-day looks that I am happy wearing every single day and that I think are stunning. And it's funny because a lot of people look at this palette and don't draw a lot of inspiration or think it's boring. I look at this palette and I see so many different eye looks. I've created so many different eye looks with this. This has been a go-to palette for me. In fact, like when she came out with ones that had a mirror in them a few months ago, I bought a new one and gave my sister the old one because I use this so much that I almost was hitting pan on certain shades. Anyways, I'm babbling, but this is definitely one of my all-time favorite palettes ever. I get a lot of use out of it. I've never had issues with blendability. I know some people have said that in the past. I love how you get like, this is more of like a neutral goldy bronze. This is super warm. This is quite warm. You get a little cool tone shade. You get like a red brick brown, which are like some of my favorite shades ever. This is such a compact palette, and I love that it has a mirror. Every time I travel with this. I just really think everyone needs this in their makeup collection because it just has the staples that you use every single day. You can use every single day if you're in a rush, but you want something quick and beautiful on your eye. That's what I go to, and I think that's what you go to, and that's why I think everybody needs this palette. The next eyeshadow palette I want to talk about is the e.l.f. Mad for Matte 2 palette. This palette is so stunning. It is all matte, so if you really like shimmers, you might want to like make sure you have a few shimmer palettes or a few shimmer shades that you really enjoy as well. But this has so many good crease shades, and like even if you wanted to do an all matte eye, like an all over lid shade as well, this has so many stunning shades in it. I think this is such a quality palette, and it is $10 at the drugstore. I have fallen in love with this palette from the moment I first got it. I continue to use it to this day. There are some shades in here that I genuinely don't have in other palettes, and that's another reason why I love this palette so much. Regardless of the fact that it is $10, I think everybody needs this in their makeup collection. It has a ton of versatility, and you can pair it with almost any other palette you have because they have neutral shades, they have warm tone shades, they kind of have it all in here. I prefer this one way more than the original Mad for Matte. I just think those shades were a little bit boring. These have a little bit of pizzazz. It's $10, it's at the drugstore, it's got pretty good packaging for e.l.f. and yeah, I just think everyone needs this palette in their collection. The last palette I want to talk about is also the newest to my collection, and that is the Tarte Tartelette Toasted palette. First of all, the Tarte Tartelette palette packaging is amazing. I love that it's super travel friendly. It's got this huge mirror that you can do your entire face in, and it also has like this beautiful gold packaging with some stunning shades on the inside. I love this palette. This is new, and the original Tarte, no, not the Tartelette original palette, but the Tartelette in Bloom was one of my favorite palettes for such a long time. This is so similar to that one. If you like that one, you're gonna love this one. This one is just a lot more warm toned. One thing that I thought that the original Tartelette in Bloom palette, even though I love it so much, I feel like sometimes the shades are just too neutral, like just almost boring, not really boring, but almost. I look at this palette and I draw so much inspiration. This palette is not boring to me at all. I know it is focused on warm tones, but you could even just have like a neutral, you could even create kind of like a neutral bronzy eye with this if you wanted to. You could create a fiery eye, you could create a gold eye. I think this is essential to your makeup collection. This has so many beautiful shades. When I did my review and first impressions on this palette, I genuinely said at the end that I could create a similar look with other palettes, but I didn't have any other palette that had shades that they have in this. This is so unique to my collection. I've actually never tried the Urban Decay Naked Heat palette, but I think just based off of what it looks like, I prefer this one much more. This has more like orangey reds, whereas the Urban Decay Naked Heat palette kind of almost has like more pinky reds. I guess it depends on what you're looking for, but I think this is essential to my makeup collection. Even though it's new, it has easily become a staple and I go towards this almost daily. I love this palette so much. This adds so much versatility. There's some shades in here like Sunset up here and Simmer. I don't have any other shades in my makeup collection like that. I just think this is essential to your makeup collection. I think if you're looking for something with warm, go here. I think you need it. Okay, you guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please leave me a thumbs up down below. Just hit that thumbs up button. If you are new here, please join the family. Hit the subscribe button. As I was saying in the intro, I post 3 videos a week that are beauty related and 1 vlog. So if you want to see my beauty addiction and you also want to see what I'm up to on a day-to-day basis, hit the subscribe button and don't forget to check out my social medias. I'll leave them on the screen right here. Also, if we had any of the same thoughts with these palettes, let me know in the comments down below. I will chat back with you. If these are any of your favorite palettes, let me know. You guys know I love interacting with you down in the comments below, so hit me up. But I will let you guys go. Have a great morning, noon, evening, day, night, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!